I love doing stand-up comedy. Occasionally I'll be hired for an acting job. And sometimes the directors of these projects will say to me like, Jim, I think I'd like to see you clean shaven. And I'll be like, I don't think you do. I always do it, but after I shave my beard, I am so disgusted with my appearance. I walk around feeling like I should apologize. Sorry about this. You're eating, sorry. And it's not just me, it's shocking to everyone who knows me with a beard. And they don't hold back. They're like, ew, gross, where's your beard? And those are just my children. Because a beard is really the poor man's facelift. Every compliment a man receives on his beard is backhanded. I like your face with a beard. Oh, so it's better covered in hair. Thanks. I feel sorry for women. Some women can't grow a beard. Yeah. What you must understand is every man who has a beard needs that beard. Every man who has a beard at one point looked in the mirror bare-faced and was like, I gotta hide this. Think of all the significant historical figures who had beards, probably because they were insecure. Abraham Lincoln, Karl Marx, Gandalf. They all had beards. Jesus had a beard. Jesus was probably walking on water, looked down, saw his reflection, and was like, Jesus. I'm gonna grow a beard. I'm not gonna get any followers looking like this. By the way, this is how Jesus walked. When Jesus walked on water, did he act like it was difficult? Was he like, oh? Can you believe it? I'm walking on water. Take out your phone, get this. Or did he walk with like an attitude like, yeah, that's right, bitches. Look at this. Yes, King of Kings. Of course, that was, walking on water was one of Jesus's miracles. But you know someone there probably just thought it was a magic trick. Someone came up, hey, I saw your walking on water show. Pretty cool. I booked children's birthday parties. We could make a killing. And she's like, it wasn't a magic trick. I'm the son of God. Interesting stage name. Anyway, here's my card. My name's Judas. You guys excited for the big fight this weekend? I assume there's a fight this weekend. There's a fight every weekend. And it's always a big fight. Oh, big fight, big fight. I always have one friend that's super into it. Dude, you better be ready for this big fight. It's gonna be insane. You better be ready. And I'm like, I'm not involved, am I? I didn't really prepare. And I'm not judging. I'm American. I love violence, you know? I like to think I don't, but when I drive by a car accident, if I don't see something, I'm a little sad. Damn ambulance was in the way. And I appreciate the unapologetic nature of the UFC, you know, surrounding violence. Most sports, they're trying to make it safer for their athletes with rules and equipment, but UFC's like, you know, should we let them use knives? Let's give them knives. UFC fighters, mixed martial arts. I didn't know the arts community was that big. They definitely forced their way in. You know, someone's like, I'm Betty, and I work in watercolors, and I'm introducing a new artist. His name is Vladimir the Destroyer. What medium do you work in? I choke people out. Oh, welcome. I'm interested to see your art. If you've never been to a UFC fight, you have to go. It's strangely theatrical the way they enter the arena, the fighters. There's lights, there's music, there's costumes. It's like an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. And then someone rings a bell and they just start hitting each other like they're on a Southwest flight. And no one stops them. And there's kids there. It's gotta be confusing for children. We're always telling children, fighting solves nothing, unless you're really good at it. Then it's a good career. They pummel each other for round upon round, and then they just stop. They embrace, and they treat each other with respect. And I think we could learn something from that. I'd like to bring that to my marriage. You know, after an argument, we embrace and give each other compliments, like, oh, you were so vicious. I mean, some of what you said, I'll never get over that. Often, I don't even know when our fights are over. You know, like sometimes it'll be the next day and I'll think, oh, you're still mad. I thought, oh, I didn't know this was a multi-day event. Yeah. Because there's always a rematch when you're married, right? It's just never scheduled.
So I returned to my family and we immediately went on a hike. And it was great. Alaska's beautiful. My kids were having fun. I was pretending like I enjoyed being outside. And then suddenly we saw a bear like 500 yards away, this huge brown bear, like way bigger than a gummy bear. And I was so excited because I watch nature shows, but I had never seen a bear in person. So it felt like a celebrity sighting. I was like, oh my God, I've watched you on Animal Planet. It's so much taller in person. Can we do a selfie? But unlike a celebrity sighting, there was the risk of death. Like you never hear, we're in a restaurant, Tom Hanks walked in, and then he came over and murdered my family. That never happens. But the bear was far away. So I took out my phone and I started taking pictures. And then suddenly the bear stood up, roared, and looked right at me. Started creeping towards me, tilting his head back and forth, almost like he recognized me. That guy looks like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I was terrified. Luckily, we were with a tour guide, and I looked at him, and he goes, don't worry, I have bear spray. And I was like, do you have anything stronger? Like a bear gun? Because I don't think this bear's approaching to get his hair done. And the bear kept coming. And then suddenly the tour guide goes, okay, I want everyone to start walking backwards slowly. Walk backwards slowly. I guess so the bear could catch up. So we started walking backwards slowly. By then, the bear was in a full sprint. I had surgery 12 hours ago, so I smelled delicious. I was also sunburned, so I probably looked like a giant land salmon. The bear couldn't believe his luck. Like, I'm not gonna have to eat for a month. He was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be eaten by a bear. Which is ironic, given how many animals I've eaten. So I started humming Circle of Life and continued walking backwards slowly. I should point out, it's not like we were walking backwards slowly to a car or a cabin. We were walking backwards slowly to nothing. It probably looked like we were teasing the bear, like, come and get it, Mr. Bear. You looking to get a little grizzly? Craving a little 2XL, are you? And before you knew it, the bear was upon us, and he killed us, and we died. Such a bloody mess. No, what really happened is at one point, the tour guide pulled out this thing. It looked like a pen. I was like, great, he's gonna ask for the bear's autograph. And I learned later on it was a bear flare, and he squeezed it, and this tiny fireball went out towards the bear, and I was like, oh good, something to anger the bear. But the fireball bounced off the bear stopped, and then just ran the other way like it forgot something at home. And we all looked at each other like, oh my gosh, that just happened. And that's a true story. Well, most of that's true. Well, it's all true, except there was no bear. No, there was a bear. My wife had she had an amazing team of doctors. She had the brain surgeon. She also had an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Ear, nose, and throat, that kind of sounds like they didn't make the cut for brain surgeon. I want to be a brain surgeon. You know what? Let's stick with the ears, nose, and throat. You'd be better with the things surrounding the brain. Can I have the eyes? You know what? Let's stick with the ears, nose, and throat. We promised the eyes to the nerd at Lens Crafters. Why pick on optometrists? Those ear, nose, and throat doctors, they must look at dentists and think, just teeth? That's it? What about the tongue? Not the tongue, just the teeth. You just work on teeth, surgery on teeth? Oh, I don't do the surgery, that's the orthodontist. I mostly scrape stuff off of teeth while I listen to 80s music. I love Debbie Gibson. When you think about it, dentists, they don't do the surgery. They don't even clean the teeth. They're like, you guys do everything, and then I'll come in and jab them with a sharp object. While I listen to Debbie. I did figure out what type of doctor I would want to be, which is an anesthesiologist. Because just once, I'd like to walk in a room and go, hi, I'm Dr. Gaffigan. I'm going to give you some drugs so you can't talk or move. And one of these strangers is going to cut you open. Good luck. What draws someone to anesthesiology? It's like, I like medicine, but I really enjoy getting people high. If I can combine the two. I also prefer to sit during surgery. You ever see the anesthesiologist during surgery? They're always sitting there like, I don't even know why I have to be here. Yeah, they're still alive. Anyone got the Wi-Fi password? But I have a newfound respect for doctors, I do. Because when you think about it, unless we're sick, we listen to absolutely nothing doctors tell us. They're like, you should lose weight. Never gonna happen. What else you got? You should exercise. Does eating French fries count? Get out of my office. I don't even listen when I bring my kids to the doctor. The doctor's like, to avoid an infection. I'm like, my wife's like, what'd the doctor say? Don't pick the scab. I don't listen to nerds. That was the only time I would ever see a doctor is when I bring my kids in. Sometimes I'd try and horn in on a pediatric appointment. The doctor would be like, how's little Mikey doing? Mikey's good, he's good. He's a little worried about this mole I have on my arm. Yeah, I explained to Mikey that I've always had the mole, but Mikey thinks it might have changed colors. Jim, would you like to make an appointment? No, it's Mikey. He just needs a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the mole. I know Mikey doesn't want to play the Hippocratic Oath card, but you have to tell us, don't you? I'm mostly healthy. I worked out today. I know I don't need to. When I'm home in New York City, I work out at the Chinatown YMCA, and I realize when people hear the Chinatown YMCA, they think, oh, that's not like a serious place to work out, and it's not. It's not at all. It's mostly little kids learning how to swim and really old Chinese people with their parents. I didn't even know you could live to that age. But I tell you, watching a 90-year-old on an elliptical really inspires me to die in my 70s. It looks like a machine is eating someone's grandma.